Most people are feeling crushed from all directions right now, and they are finding themselves in a situation where they make too much money to qualify for help, but not enough money to feel comfortable in their day-to-day life to even feel like they're able to stay afloat. And because of this, many people are realizing that they truly are just one emergency away from being in serious financial trouble.
Nurses are now bidding against each other for shifts, and the lowest pay wins. Let that sink in. There's a growing trend called Uber for nurses, where gig apps are using AI to staff hospitals. Sounds convenient until you see how it actually works. These platforms turn shifts into auctions.
Oh, does that sound familiar, guys? Auctions? Race to the bottom? That's slavery, guys. This is what I keep talking about on this channel, that slavery did not get abolished. It just evolved. Slavery didn't go anywhere. America is run on slave labor. Okay, let's continue on. Oh, by the way, go and subscribe to Homestead Journey, because this lady is doing amazing things. She's giving us a lot of good content. Subscribe to her. And she also has a second channel that she talks about how to prepare for the inevitable. The economy is collapsing real fast.
Nurses bid for the job, and whoever offers to work for the lowest rate gets it.
Listen, the lowest rate, what do you think the lowest rate is going to be? There's always going to be somebody that's desperate. You don't want to be a victim to this system. It's a nightmare, guys. You don't want to be caught up in this nonsense. Even when you look at most of the people that are doing DoorDash, Uber drivers, they're all complaining that they're not making enough money. When you look at the wear and tear of their cars, the amount of time they spend on the road, there's this one guy that did an experiment. He did DoorDash and think some other app, and then he did the math. It turned out that he was only making about $6 an hour, $6 and some change per hour. That's below minimum wage, guys. Isn't that that's slavery?
So instead of hospitals competing to pay nurses fairly, nurses are competing to undercut each other. And it gets worse. These apps track everything. So performance, cancellations, even being late. That data decides if you get future shifts and how much you get paid.
That sounds like a slave plantation to me. You don't want to be a part of this. And how you end up victim to this slave plantation of these apps is by having no leverage. If you have leverage, you don't have to be a victim to all of this mess, okay? But it requires you to know how to have leverage over the entire system. And I can teach you how.
So now think about the clinical reality. You're being sent into unfamiliar facilities with little to no orientation, expected to provide safe care immediately. That is not just a workforce issue, that is a patient safety issue. And here's the part people are not paying attention to. These companies are actively lobbying to be exempt from healthcare staffing regulations, which means fewer protection for nurses, less accountability for these platforms, and more risk for patients. Healthcare is not rideshare. You cannot figure it out on the fly when lives are on the line. This is not innovation. This is a race to the bottom, dressed up as technology.
100%. There's this terminology called techno-feudalism. If you guys don't know what that is, go look it up. Techno-feudalism. What this means is there are a bunch of billionaires that run technology. Look at the Jeff Bezos that run Amazon, the Mark Zuckerbergs that run Facebook and Meta. These are the ones that are controlling the economy using technology. And then people like you, okay, the workers, you become a victim to the system that is controlled by these billionaires. So you become medieval peasants, where there's a king at the top, and then there are a bunch of lords, okay, that own land, and then the general public has to work on that land for food and even shelter and nothing else. This is what's happening in the US economy. But you can have leverage if you know what you're doing. And you don't have to be selling your soul, for the lowest wage. This is why I created a private membership group on this channel. You guys need to join. If you don't want to end up a peasant, a medieval peasant, or wage slave, schedule a call. Talk to you soon. What up, my friends? You didn't get into healthcare to become a slave to paperwork and 12-hour shifts. You got into this to serve and to get rewarded the amount of money that you really deserve. But right now, you're drowning in bills in this crushing cost of living economy and high inflation. Listen, wage slavery is a real thing in this new economy, but that cycle of struggling and falling behind ends today. Introducing the elite home healthcare business, AI automation. We've built a system that lets you automate 99% of all your home care business workflow in just 5 hours. Yes, 5 hours you can automate your entire home care business, guys. Imagine state licensing applications, payroll, client invoicing, accounting, and all admin workflows handled automatically. Automated marketing that finds premium clients on social media and TV while you take afternoon naps. You know, I love taking naps. Every afternoon, I love to take naps nowadays because I have automations running all day long. No more HR department, no manual time tracking, and no agency fees. And here's the best part, guys. You're not doing all this alone. I'm gonna give you 100 days of one-on-one coaching and mentorship in my private members-only group. Stop trading your soul, your time for a paycheck and hustling backwards. You need to stop that right now. We have entered AI revolution. Automate your freedom, take your time back and your life back. Click the link below and join us. Let's build your elite home care future.